Coming up on After the Whistle, we look back at District 6 and Penn State's football seasons.
Plus, we give out our After the Whistle high school football awards.
And a new coach has put pen to paper in Happy Valley. All that and more coming up on After the Whistle.
Hello and welcome to the final show of the fall for After the Whistle. We have the full recap of Penn State football's wild season, plus the latest updates on Penn State's coaching decision. I'm Andrew Matz.
And I'm Nico Rodriguez. Later we'll be recapping Center County and District 6's most memorable moments of this past football season. After the Whistle starts now. We begin with a developing story. According to ESPN's Pete Thamel, Penn State is set to part ways with defensive coordinator Jim Knowles. Knowles was only with the Nittany Lions for one season, and once the two sides agree to a buyout, is expected to take the same position in Tennessee, according to Thamel.
There were such high hopes for the Penn State football this season after making it to the semifinals last January.
But things didn't quite go as expected. Our reporter Cassie Vaselis has the Penn State season rewind.
Thanks, guys. Penn State's season faced a lot of turbulence, from starting 3-0 to pivotal losses and ultimately a coaching change. Let's take a look.
The Penn State Nittany Lions came into the 2025 football season with high expectations. Ranked number 2 in the preseason AP poll, this was the highest preseason spot in 28 years. The Blue and White started with a 4-game homestand, cruising by their first 3 opponents in Nevada, FIU, and Villanova, remaining at number 2 in the AP poll. The season took a turn at the annual whiteout game as PSU faced their first Big Ten opponent of the year, the Oregon Ducks. The game went into double overtime as Drew Aller threw a game-ending interception to give Penn State their first loss of the season. This caused the Blue and White to fall to 7 in the AP poll.
We got to find a way to win those games. I totally get it, and I take ownership. And I take responsibility. At the end of the day, I wanted that for those kids in that locker room.
The Nittany Lions looked to bounce back as they took the trip to California to face UCLA, the worst-ranked team in the Big Ten Conference at the time. In a shocking upset, the Nittany Lions lost to the Bruins and dropped entirely out of the AP poll. Penn State hoped to regain their strength homecoming weekend against Northwestern. But this 22-21 loss shook up the program as Aller obtained a season-ending injury. Head coach James Franklin was fired the next day after their 3rd consecutive loss. Associate head coach Terry Smith was promoted to interim head coach, leaving the future of PSU football uncertain.
For our program, we need to stick together, stay focused, keep the standard the standard. Nothing changes when it comes to the expectation. We need to get back to enjoying ball, being tough, gritty, and passionate.
Smith and backup QB Ethan Grunkenmeyer were thrown into the fire immediately as the Blue and White then took a loss against both Iowa and Ohio State. Smith and the Nittany Lions returned to Happy Valley to take on Indiana, but dropped the hard-fought contest. Penn State finally got back into the win column, and Smith earned his first career win after a victory at Michigan State, taking home the land-grant trophy. Momentum continued as the Nittany Lions beat Nebraska and Rutgers. Katron Allen became Penn State's all-time rushing leader, while Nicholas Singleton broke 3 Penn State program records. Penn State ended the regular season with a 6-6 record and achieved bowl eligibility, bringing some light back to Happy Valley.
While the season was cinematic in a way the Nittany Lions never wished for, it's certainly one for the history books. Back to you, Andrew.
Thanks, Cassie. After starting the season 3-6, Penn State rallied for 3 straight wins to reach bowl eligibility. They'll face the Clemson Tigers from the ACC in the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium on December 27th, with kickoff slated for noon. Both teams opened the season ranked in the top 10 of the AP Top 25 preseason poll, and several media pundits predicted they would face off in the college football playoffs. Instead, the two teams will face off in the Bronx and try to build momentum heading into the 2026 season.
After being officially hired, Penn State football's new head coach Matt Campbell spoke on Monday in Beaver Stadium.
Our reporter Massimo Bonagorio was at his opening press conference. Massimo?
Thanks, guys. Matt Campbell had a lot of things to say after taking over Penn State's head coaching job, and the university believes he's the perfect fit.
After 54 days of Terry Smith as interim head coach, Penn State officially hired Iowa State head coach Matt Campbell.
Interestingly to me, people who have known Coach Campbell for decades and people who tell me they've been tracking him and trying to recruit him for years. Every single one of them speaks to his integrity.
Penn State had many candidates for their head coaching job, but none of them held all the Happy Valley values like Campbell does.
Matt Campbell is Penn State. Hard-nosed, humble, relentless, a developer of young men, and he's built for championships.
Campbell is coming into a team that had so many hardships this season, but it was Penn State's perseverance through those that inspired him to join the Nittany Lions.
And to watch those young men be on a 3-game winning streak here at the end of this football season as so much adversity has hit them, it's been inspiring. And they get this unbelievable opportunity to go win 4 in a row at the end of the season for these great seniors, for themselves, and for the future of our program.
With signing on the dotted line, Coach Campbell holds faith that Penn State can become the best team in the country.
Every single step of the way to link arms with you, to unify us, and to continue to push this program to the greatest heights it's ever seen. I know what I'm inheriting, I know what my responsibility is, and to be honest with you, to link arms with every one of our lettermen, our former players, and to unify this football program into the greatest football power in the country. I can't wait for that opportunity.
The Nittany Lions have checked off one of their goals for next season, but they still have a long way to go. Back to you guys.
While Penn State's elusive coaching search has finally come to a close, their recruiting journey is far from over. The departure of James Franklin saw much more than a rough regular season. In the weeks after Franklin's dismissal, the Blue and White saw a wave of decommits, including 5-star running back Keemon Spell and 4-star offensive tackle Kevin Brown. The Nittany Lions entered National Signing Day with just one recruit in defensive end Jackson Ford. At the end of the day, the Nittany Lions walked away with 2 recruits after flipping 4-star QB Peyton Falzone from Auburn. Penn State's class ranking sits below 150, the lowest in the Big Ten. Head coach Matt Campbell and the Nittany Lions will have their work cut out for them as they look to rebuild.
We know what we're looking for in the transfer portal, and we're going to have to use that to continue to supplement our football team.
Coming up, we will look back at some District 6 teams' impressive seasons.
But first, here's a look at the college football playoff and ranked bowl game schedules for the Big Ten Conference.
After winning a state championship last season, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders were looking to go back-to-back. Reporter Michael Fechter is in our studio to take us through their season. Michael?
Thank you. There are a lot of great teams this year in the PIAA, but the one that impressed the most was Bishop Guilfoyle.
Bishop Guilfoyle, after a 15-1 record in 2024, came in with expectations to run it back in 2025. BG started the season 1-1 after a 10-point loss in Week 2 to Richland. This lit a fire within the former PA1A champions as the Marauders went on to win the next 7 games, running through their division.
It feels great to be 6-1, and we're just getting started. We want to do what we did last year, and man, it's a great feeling.
Athlete Jake Kissel was the catalyst for the Marauders, leading the team in touchdowns, rushing yards, sacks, and tackles, along with being third in receiving yards.
The chip team does. You dominate the fourth quarter. And I thought our guys did it. It was led by the offensive line, and Jake Kissel is a man amongst boys, and he's the best player on the field every week, and he exceeds expectations, and that's almost impossible to do usually, but he does it. So it's just so fun to watch him play.
Even getting blown out against the powerhouse of the Laurel Highlands Conference in Bishop McCourt would not faze BG, as they would win the next 3 games in shutouts, including a 62-0 win against Juniata Valley in the first round of the PA1A playoffs. BG would take down Westinghouse and Belmont Charter to get to the finals before falling to Clarington 35-3.
This group, you know, I know we didn't win it today, but this group will always be really special to me. You know, they found ways to compete every week, to win, and they were so much fun to practice. You know, they just came to practice, came to work, and really just tried to be better every single week.
Bishop Guilfoyle may have come up short, but there's always next season. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Michael. The Penn Cambria Panthers had a historic 2024 season, winning a school record 14 games along with the school's first District 6 3A title and a trip to the state semifinals. This Panthers squad looked to get even further this year. After an 8-2 regular season, the Panthers defeated the Huntington Bearcats 33-6 to claim their second straight district title and another trip to the state playoffs. Penn Cambria is led by a three-headed monster on offense of Brady Jones, Corbin Vinglish, and Blake Lilly. Brady Jones passed for over 2,000 yards and 25 touchdowns, and Corbin Vinglish rushed for over 1,500 yards and 19 touchdowns, and Blake Lilly rounded out the trio with over 1,000 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns. For the second year in a row, the Panthers were taken out in the semifinals by Avonworth, who won the 3A state title this season. Penn Cambria finished 12-3 and will have to replace 13 seniors next season, but Vinglish will be back.
We now go to the biggest rising star in District 6 with the Huntington Bearcats. Brian Portney has more.
Thanks, Nico. In year 3 of the Tim Lucko era, success has paid dividends for the Bearcats in their best season of the decade. After going 0-10 last year, it seemed like the Huntington Bearcats were going to have their hands full yet again. Despite this, Huntington pushed past Bald Eagle to snap the losing streak, then proceeded to take down Somerset and Bellwood Antis, tied for its longest win streak since 2019. The road didn't stop there, however, as the Bearcats ended the regular season at 7-3, their best record since 2017. Behind a stellar offensive line, Huntington scored 29 rushing touchdowns, 13 of them coming from senior running back Lennon Erdman.
I definitely could not do it without my O-line. I thank them every practice for blocking for me.
Huntington then won its first playoff game since 2017, taking down the Tyrone Golden Eagles 42-7 and getting the last laugh after losing the first head-to-head earlier in October.
It was get back week. That was all we were through Monday through Friday. It was just we got to beat Tyrone.
Despite ending its season the following week at the hands of Penn Cambria in the District 6 3A championship, it was clear that the Bearcats had gotten back on the right track as a program.
I think that's the most exciting thing right now. You can feel the presence of the support each and every Friday night and even out in the community. So it's good to get the community back to what they deserve.
And let's welcome the Bearcats! With the loss of its top 3 rushers to graduation, Huntington will have some big shoes to fill. Now back to you guys at the desk.
The Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers were a walking highlight reel this year after back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Hollidaysburg finished 13-1, dominating every game this season before falling to Roman Catholic for the second year in a row. The Golden Tigers saw big changes in their roster over the last year, with new faces coming to fill some big shoes. And fill they did. Junior running back Carter Muth was the spark plug of the Tigers' offense, rushing for 159 yards per game and scoring 32 touchdowns, including this crazy punt return. Look at that, Andrew.
Look at him go.
Hollidaysburg didn't just have weapons on offense. Senior Josh Banks was everywhere on defense with 6.5 tackles per game and highlight plays like this blocked punt.
That's one way to get there.
The Golden Tigers continued their dominance this year and will look to get over the hump next season.
After losing starting quarterback Eddie Corkery and star wide receiver Ty Salazar, State College had a lot of question marks coming into the season. Reporter Liana Tiamzin is live in our studio with more. Liana?
Last year, the Little Lions went 11-2 and lost to Pittsburgh Central Catholic in the state quarterfinals. With a new quarterback and the return of star running back Deontay Sheffy, the team tried to have a deep state run.
The Little Lions came out firing, putting up 41 points in their season opener against Gateway, winning 41-14 at Memorial Field. Sophomore quarterback Connor Kolka took over for Kellen Williams in the game and kept the spot the rest of the season. Kolka finished with 30 touchdown passes to become the second straight quarterback to reach the 30 mark after senior Eddie Corkery threw 38 last year. Their toughest game came down to the wire. State High fell short to Harrisburg 48-45 in double overtime. But the Little Lions quickly bounced back, racking up 5 straight conference wins. They dominated McDowell 41-7 in the first round of the PIAA playoffs for the second straight season, followed by an outstanding 52-0 shutout against Wilkes-Barre in the state quarterfinals. A huge part of State High's dominant offense was running back Deontay Sheffy, who racked up 1,613 rushing yards and 24 total touchdowns this season.
Start every drive just
acting like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard, trying to do our best, be a team and everything like that.
Their season ended again in the state quarterfinals with a 42-21 loss to Pittsburgh Central Catholic for the second straight year.
I love our kids. The end of the year, every year it hits really hard. Not being able to have these seniors be kids that you're coaching anymore is really, really hard.
The Little Lions scored nearly 500 points this season with Sheffy and senior receivers Hank Lustig and Demir Code, combining for 46 of their 67 touchdowns, leaving some key offensive holes that will need to be filled next year. The Little Lions finished 10-3 overall and 7-2 in their conference. Back to you, Nico and Andrew at the desk.
While football season has come to a close, we'll take a look at the final championship scores from all across the state.
Yeah, there were some great times there at those championship games. And of course, coming up after that, we will have our favorite part of the night, the After the Whistle Awards.
Can't wait.
It has been an action-packed season across the map, from Penn State's hiring of Matt Campbell to Bishop Guilfoyle's thrilling playoff run.
Absolutely, and we still aren't done. We have our top game of the year, best mascot, and more. But first, let's head over to the news desk, where Zach Miller and Messiah Mitchell are pleading their case for the After the Whistle MVP.
Thanks, guys. The District 6 high school football season has come to an end, and with that comes we must crown the most valuable player. We had plenty of stars throughout District 6, but one in particular stuck out most.
After close consideration,
our ATW MVP is Deontay Sheffy.
Kissel. Sorry, what?
Listen. Kissel is a dog, but Sheffy here, he's a Commonwealth Conference Offensive Player of the Year. In addition, he finished the season with over 1,600 rush yards in only 12 games played. That's 4 less than Kissel, and sits at almost 135 yards per game. He also tacked on 26 total touchdowns. He had 2 games under 100 rush yards all year. That's less than State College had losses this season. With this level of talent at 6 foot 205 pounds, it cannot go unrecognized.
Okay, but you've seen what Kissel means to his team, right? This season alone, Kissel has 32 rushing touchdowns. He's also matching Sheffy with over 1,600 yards on the ground. Sitting at 220 pounds, he's a major threat in the backfield at both QB and running back. He's also a tight end. And to top that all off, he's a defensive end. Not just, oh yeah, he's on defense kind of thing, you know. The man has 13 sacks and 33 tackles for losses on the season. For me, you just can't match that.
All right, yes, Kissel is a do-it-all guy that any team would love to have at any given time. But let us not forget that Sheffy has been an elite-level running back from the beginning and has not stopped producing. He was Freshman of the Year in 2022 and is now number 3 all-time on the State College rush yards list with 3,806, third to only 2 former NFL players. With only 26 games played for the Little Lions, he is one of the most explosive running backs I have watched with my own eyes. He combines speed, power, and patience every time he touches the ball and gets into that second level beyond the line of scrimmage.
I'll give you that. Sheffy's definitely an explosive player and very talented. But, you know, what's it all for? Kissel's a guy who's been winning championships. Just a season ago, the Bishop Guilfoyle Marauders were 1A champs, and they've only lost 4 games over the past 2 seasons. State College never saw a 6A final with Sheffy. Here's a stat for you. This year alone, Kissel has over 2,500 yards total. And again, I'll say it, he's playing both sides of the ball. He's a freak athlete, and he deserves the praise. For me, that just puts the icing on the cake with Kissel.
Okay, I think we've done enough arguing. We would love to know who you think is the After the Whistle MVP. Is it Sheffy with his explosive running?
Or is it Jake Kissel, the man on all sides of the ball? Let us know at ATWPSU on Instagram to vote for the MVP of MVPs.
Well, Zach and Messiah definitely made their cases for who should win the coveted ATW MVP award.
I'll be honest, for me, it's a toss-up, and I'm not sure. But moving on from players, let's look at the top 3 games of the year. At number 3, we have a high-stakes nail-biter between Bald Eagle and Central. Dragons would open the scoring, but the Eagles would come right back as QB Graydon Fisher keeps the ball and bounces off defenders, and look at him go 40 yards all the way to the house. And then we move Bald Eagle, and Central would continue to trade scores throughout the game. This time, Dragons' Jesse Muthler would throw a shovel pass to Brooks Decker for the 16-yard score. It would stay a close game to the bitter end, with Bald Eagle eventually coming out with the win 26-25.
Coming in at the number 2 slot, it's another close battle, this time between Bishop Guilfoyle and Westinghouse. Last year, the Marauders dominated the Bulldogs 56-14, but this year was a completely different story. BG got on the board first with a handoff rushing touchdown by Jake Kissel. Westinghouse would respond with a touchdown of their own by Kayshawn Hawkins. Hawkins received an unsportsmanlike penalty, pushing them back on the 2-point conversion attempt, which they ultimately failed, deciding the fate of the game. BG won the playoff match 7-6.
And finally, our top game of the year. It's Harrisburg versus State High. The Little Lions would take an early 13-0 lead, but the Cougars wouldn't go down quietly. With under 30 seconds left to go in the game, State College would need a 2-point conversion, and they would get it as from a fumble here. Hank Lustig jumps on it, and that would send the game to overtime. Both teams would score in the first overtime, and it would send it to double overtime. And then Jayon Lewis for the Cougars would score a walk-off touchdown and give Harrisburg the 48-45 win.
We've looked back at the players and teams on the field, but now let's recognize some of the best on the sidelines and crown our top 3 mascots. Kicking things off in 3rd place, we have Tyrone's Golden Eagle. He's often on the sidelines showing off his cheer and dance skills. Next in 2nd place, we have the Central Dragon. Look at this jump. I know me and you both cannot do that.
Oh, we can't, Nico.
And coming in 1st place, it's Phillipsburg Osceola's Pirate. This Pirate sails into 1st place in his on-field ship, which comes to both home and away games. He's got tricks too, as his sword doubles as a baton.
We have an incredible staff of photographers here at After the Whistle, and they work tirelessly to capture the emotional moments on the field and the sidelines. Reporter Bailey Taporser has our top 3 photos of the year.
Thanks, Andrew. Our After the Whistle photographers were hard at work this fall, capturing the most memorable moments. Let's take a look at this year's top 3 photos. Starting off strong, in 3rd place, we have a classic After the Whistle photo. Here you have 2 teams meeting at center field for the coin toss under the Friday night lights. This photo was taken by After the Whistle freshman Ryan Gerstenzang during the first round of playoffs between Greater Johnstown on the left and Bellefonte on the right. Moving on to 2nd place, ladies and gentlemen, aside from this being a beautifully taken photo with vibrant colors, this is a photo that shows us what District 6 athletes look like off the field. After the Whistle junior Sawyer Hadlam did a great job here catching Tyrone junior Colson Moore listening to his coach while trying to squeeze his helmet off after a play. And finally, coming in at 1st place, our photo of the year is an insane moment from last week's 1A state championship. Saquon Barkley, look at the air Clareton senior Dante Wright gets as he hurdles over the tackle. Freshman photographer Jenny Karamis did a phenomenal job capturing the moment here. Those are our top 3 photos of the season. Be sure to check out the rest of our photos on our website. I'm Bailey Taporser, and back to you guys at the desk.
There were plenty of exciting games this season, but these 3 stood out the most to us. These are the greatest upsets of the year. On September 26, Colton Chapman's 120-yard first half and 2 touchdowns powered the Mountaineers to a victory over the Blue Devils. PO finished the season 5-5, while Bellwood Antis finished 7-5. Moving on to October 24th, where Clearfield staged a 4th-quarter comeback, scoring 2 late touchdowns to force overtime. Colton Ryan finished the job to give the Bison a win on senior night. They finished the season 8-4, while Penn Cambria finished 12-3. And finally, on September 5th, the Rangers scored twice in the final 4 minutes to upset the Panthers. After a quiet first half from Forest Hills, they took their quarterback Xander Richardson, put his team on his back with a touchdown pass and 2 more on the ground. They finished season 6-5, while Penn Cambria finished 12-3.
Following most of the explosive plays of the season came some crazy celebrations. Let's take a look at this year's best. In 3rd place, we have Bishop McDevitt versus Altoona. QB Sebastian Williams finds open receiver Howard Holton Jr. for the touchdown. Holton quickly spins around and leaps across the end zone, finding his guys to help him celebrate.
It's not a one-man sport. You got to get them involved.
In second place, we're going to PO versus Bald Eagle. Bald Eagle's Grady Fisher is going to do it himself and break multiple tackles to find the end zone. The team finds him to celebrate, running down the sideline, and gets his coach for a chest bump. And in first place is Hollidaysburg versus Taylor Alderdice. TA's QB throws it down the middle, but Hollidaysburg's Vincent Albarano backhand intercepts it. Albarano is going to sprint to the sideline and whip out the air guitar.
Our show revolves around the high schoolers making the plays on the field, in the pads. But what about the students cheering them on? Let's take a look at the top student sections throughout the season. At number 3, it's Forest Hills with their Neon Night, making it hard to miss them. They might be tiny, but they are mighty. Number 2, we have make our way to Penn Cambria, Panther County. Their USA Nights were decked with red, white, and blue. Finally, taking the gold medal is Central Student Section with their Hawaiian Night. Loud voices were accompanied by lays and megaphones. It's obvious they do run this beach.
We've seen some outstanding plays this fall. Let's hear from Katie Mortimer with our top 5.
Thanks, Nico. You've seen our top 3 plays of every week, but let's take a look at our top 5 plays of the entire year. Starting us off, the Williamsport Millionaires punting from their own end zone, and it's blocked by Josh Banks of Hollidaysburg. The ball stays in bounds, and Isaac Wallace jumps on it to secure the touchdown. On to number 4, Bald Eagles driving and looking to punch it in, but Bishop McCourt's Garrett Farubal strips the ball and plays hot potato before gaining control and turning on the Jets with no one to stop him as he takes it all the way for a touchdown. This score led the Crushers to a playoff win. Now taking the Bronze Central's Jesse Muthler throws on the run, and Tyrone's Mason Amy flies up like a golden eagle and finishes it off with a backwards roll. And at number 2, Northern Cambria quarterback Daniel Farrell fakes it before he takes it, all the way himself, bobbing and weaving, spinning out of a tackle and showing he's not going down as he cuts across the field and leaves the defenders in the dust as he goes 76 yards all the way to the house for the score. Finally, our top play of the year, backed up on the goal line, Central Cambria quarterback Mason Pittsinger airs it out, but it's picked off with one hand by Bald Eagle Jackson Millward. But taking a closer look at this one, you see Millward jump up and extend his arm backwards to make this astonishing catch for the interception. Those were the best of the best from this fall, and we can't wait to see more impressive plays in the spring. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Katie. Well, Nico, that is all that we have for tonight, and it has been an exciting fall.
Absolutely, but don't get too upset because after the whistle, we'll be back in January, giving you the latest updates on winter sports from District 6 and Penn State.
For more updates on our show and just exactly when we will be back, follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at ATWPSU, and check out the Penn State Student Media website.
For my co-anchor Andrew Matz and our entire crew, I'm Nico Rodriguez signing off from University Park. Have a happy holiday season, and we'll see you next year right here on After the Whistle.